Joining me now is NPR's legal affairs correspondent, Nina Totenberg. Nina, welcome to the Sunday Show.
My pleasure, Jonathan.
So Chief Justice John Roberts has previously said they can police themselves, writing in his 2021 year-end report, the judiciary's power to manage its internal affairs insulates courts from inappropriate political influences and is crucial to preserving public trust in its work as a separate and co-equal branch of government. So, Nina, what do you think Roberts is going to do here, particularly with him not being able to force Thomas to do anything he doesn't want to do?
Well, I think this is very complicated because, I obviously have no idea what the chief is going to do, but it would be at least within the realm of possibility that he would have a quiet conversation with Thomas and say, look, in some of these cases, perhaps not all, but in the January 6th cases where you're now on record as being part of the White House strategy for dealing with this, her actual statements in her texts are part of the official record that may eventually be before the Supreme Court. And in that sense, the statute says you're supposed to recuse. Now, the statute technically is not binding on the Supreme Court. It's binding on lower court judges. But at some point, the implications for the court's reputation by itself make it, I think, necessary for some justices on occasion to recuse. They're remarkably untransparent about it normally when they do it. And when they don't do it, they, with actually only one major exception I can think of, don't give extended reasons why. Justice Scalia, when he did not recuse himself from a case that involved Vice President Cheney, but mainly was styled with his name and involved some decisions at the White House not to make certain documents available. Justice Scalia did not recuse, and when he was asked to recuse, he eventually wrote an extended, what I think he called a memorandum, explaining why. But mainly the court justices don't do that. And Thomas has given no explanation for why he has not recused, and nobody has formally asked him yet. But if one of those cases gets to the Supreme Court, one might suspect that somebody might ask. And go ahead.
No, finish that last thought, and then I want to get your reaction to something Speaker Pelosi said.
Well, the court's numbers, political approval numbers, are going way down. And this kind of thing doesn't help. And the court lives on its reputation. If it doesn't have the trust of the American public, it doesn't have anything.
So let me have you watch what Speaker Pelosi had to say on this matter on Wednesday.
Why should they have lower standards than members of Congress in terms of reporting and the rest? So, I've heard people say from time to time, well, it's a personal decision of a judge as to whether he should recuse himself. Well, if your wife is an admitted and proud contributor to a coup of our country, maybe you should weigh that in your ethical standards.
So, Nina, we've got a minute left, but, listening to the speakers, those are strong words, but it leaves me wondering, does Congress have the power to tell this Supreme Court what to do? Can Congress impose ethics standards on the Supreme Court? A little bit of schoolhouse rock here.
Well, I think that's the ultimate question. I mean, Congress imposes those rules on itself. And typically, independent branches of government, the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, make their own rules. But there are instances in which the court has upheld rules for each other's branches. And I think that's one of the unanswered questions here.
I'm going to squeeze in one more question. Fresh off the heels of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's contentious hearing and this Thomas scandal, do you think the American people are questioning the integrity of the Supreme Court? The poll numbers are low in terms of its public standing. Do those two situations make it even worse?
Well, they don't help, except, of course, that Ketanji Brown Jackson got asked, I think it was by Senator Cruz, if she was going to recuse herself from the upcoming major affirmative action case. And she said, quote, "That's my plan." And I think the senator was shocked that she, unlike some others recently who have dodged and weaved in their confirmation hearings, including Justice Barrett, about whether they would recuse in the future, she just said, "Yes, I will."